Oh, say, can you hear?
Yet another red light.
Well, I'm gonna spill all
the secrets you're holding
about the spaceships up there and the aliens down here and all history,
which is totally fake.
Let's go back about an incident in 2009. I believe that there was an attempt made on my life. Something designed to shut me up. Let's go to the month of July now. In July, I left work one day and I was heading to the gym to go work out. And I work out 3 to 4 times a week. I'm a former bodybuilder, so exercising, training, exercising, weight training, and keeping my body in shape. I eat good foods, I stay healthy. I'm really into this health thing. I believe you have to exercise, you have to eat right, you have to eat the right foods, you have to keep your energy up, you have to recover. Your health is really number one. It's the most important thing, in my opinion. So I definitely take care of my health, and I make sure I stay on top of that. The thing now is that I was getting something bad, an attempt was going to be made on me, and I got this bad vibe come over me inside the office, and I heard the implant clicking and going off. I said, what is going on? Okay? So I go in the gym out there by Westheimer, right there by the Beltway. There's a 24-hour fitness right there by the Beltway in Westheimer. And I went inside the gym and I saw 2 women in the gym, twins. They had long brown hair, they were attractive women, and they were aliens, and they were both stretching and doing some exercise, and they kept looking back at me in the gym, and I saw their eyes. And this was the first time I'd seen the aliens show up in the gym in a long time, because the first time it happened was in 2001, when they came up to me to talk to me at the time, to ask me how I was doing. But this time, they were really looking at me really hard inside the gym to the point where it got so uncomfortable. You see, something was about to happen. And I don't know if it was preventable or not, but as soon as I left the gym, I'm driving down the road, and I'm watching this Cadillac being pushed by an SUV, illegally towed. Some Mexicans were driving inside the car and watching this thing going on here. So when I see it, I back off and go to the right lane. And I said, man, this doesn't look good. So I'm coming up to the Memorial intersection by Memorial and the Beltway off the feeder to get ready to cross I-10. And right as I go up to 45 miles an hour and I pass the neighborhood and come around, there's a traffic light there and I'm in the right lane. And I'm coming down about 45 miles an hour. I wasn't breaking the speed limit. I was going about 45 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, I'm coming up to the intersection and I see a black lady sitting inside a car. And I'm coming up and I see her just look at me and just step on the gas and just come out in front of me, point blank at 45 miles an hour. And I'm going toward her, hit her. I could not believe, because she was on a red light. She wasn't on the arrow. She was literally parked in a red light because everybody was going through on green. So she drove out right from the red light into the green light, into the incoming traffic in front of me, point blank. And I tried to get out of the way and I lost control of the vehicle and hit her. And she spun out of control. I spun out of control. Here comes the Cadillac that I passed. And the truck, the Cadillac, hit me right on the driver's side, damaged up my door. The airbag exploded, went off right inside my face. It saved my life, basically. And I lost control of the vehicle. I'm getting ready to crash, to go over the Beltway now, to crash into the wall of the Beltway. So the car hit the curve and went right in the grass, and it just happened to stop right in time. And it could have crashed into the wall and possibly knocked the wall down and went over. So luckily. So I'm trapped in the car now, and I'm smelling gasoline. My neck is hurt, my back is hurt, I'm injured. I could tell I had torn muscles in my back. It was a serious, I hit a solid object at 45 miles an hour without hitting the brakes. It was a pretty hard impact. So I cut the seatbelt off with my knife, and I was in pain, and a Mexican guy came over and helped get me through the window. My windows were busted out. The front windshield was all busted out. The windshield to the side was cracked. The one over here was cracked. So the guy tried to open and grab my arm and pulled me out. So I stepped outside. So when I stepped outside the car, the woman was parked inside the car because I swung out away and hit her door. She was parked in the car and she was sitting there in the car looking at me and laughing at me. The woman who drove out in front of me, Portland, looking at me, laughing at me, and smiling at me, and I got pissed off, and right away I knew something just told me this was no accident. And I got pissed off and I said, "You bitch." And I'm walking to go up to her. I wasn't going to do anything, wasn't going to hurt the lady. All of a sudden I'm walking, I just feel an arm right around my chest, whack right around my chest. When I turn, look, one of the alien females standing right to me, point blank, looking at me. She goes, "You need to go to the hospital, go inside the ambulance." No. She then turns around and blocks the lady and literally turns her back to the lady with her arm out like she goes, "Your injuries," she looks up and she goes, "Your injuries are minor and you're going to be okay, but you have to go to the hospital." So I looked at her right away. I looked at her and I looked at the lady inside the car. She turned around and looked at the lady. So I said to her, "This is no accident." So she looks at me, she smiles, she goes, "Go in the ambulance right now, you're going to be okay." Okay? They take me now and put me in the ambulance. You wouldn't believe what the hell happened next. The woman that I hit that caused the accident comes up to the ambulance and tries to enter inside the back of the ambulance. So I say to the technician, "What is she doing here?" He goes, "She says she wants to go to the hospital. We'll have one ambulance. She says she wants to ride in the back of the ambulance with you." So they're now strapping me down to a gurney and putting this woman inside here to sit down to accompany me while I go to the hospital. I said to him, "No, you get her out of here, and she's not riding inside this ambulance with me. I don't trust her." So he goes, "Ma'am, you need to get outside the ambulance. There's another ambulance coming up here." So he kicked her out of the ambulance. Not kidding. Why did she want to ride with me inside the ambulance? Pretty interesting, isn't it? So I go to the hospital. Of course, they checked me out. I didn't have any broken bones. I had a lot of soft tissue tears, but my back, I had some minor back problems from injuries from the gym. Nothing serious. I'd see a chiropractor once in a while. No serious injuries. But I did have serious muscle tears in my back. My back and my vertebrae had gotten out of line, so I had to go see a chiropractor. I did have to file a claim against him because I really realized I was injured. I was torn up pretty bad, and I had some slipped vertebrae in my neck, my back. So I had to go back into chiropractic therapy over and over again. This thing that actually happened. So that, I believe, was an intentional possible attack. I can't prove it. I didn't get any downloads from the fact that the alien female showed up here and stopped me from going up there to go start an argument later. Police officers came right down on the scene right away. Constable, sheriffs, about 4 cop cars come up there. And then the cops came and started accusing me of speeding. I was being told I was drunk driving, all sorts of usual crap right here. The piece of crap you are, and all this crap right here. Till finally, I look at the police officer and I got pissed off and I said to him, "I need to talk to you for a second right here." So I reached my wallet and I pulled out my business card and I said, "Don't you fuck with me." I said, "Do you see what I do for a living? I'm going to tell you this again." She drove out from the red light in front of me, point blank. So he was getting ready to write me a ticket. I said, "You need to talk to the witnesses here and talk to the people here." Okay? So he went and talked to the Mexicans. The Mexicans said, "Yeah, the lady came out in front of him, point blank, from the red light. We couldn't believe it. And he lost control, hit her, and it caused us to hit him." So the officer comes back to me in the hospital and says, "Look, I just wrote her a ticket. Here's a police report." And got him a police report. And he goes, "Look, man, I'm sorry, man. We got the facts now. These things happen sometimes, but I went ahead and talked to the officers, and they agreed after we talked to everybody. Multiple witnesses then came forward and said that she caused the accident and drove out point blank from the red light." So picture someone sitting at a red light. There's a green light in cars, and just step on the gas and just drive out right inside the traffic. What would trigger that? Okay? Then the next day, she files a claim against my insurance company and said I was driving recklessly and drunk driving and lost control of my vehicle and crashed into her and dislodged her from the intersection out there in the middle of the road. That did not work, so I went ahead and got an attorney and we crushed them and solved the problem. And the insurance company had to pay the 15 to 20 grand in medical bills, and that problem got solved. So now I was now in a serious situation. I was now without a car. So the whole economy is crashed and burned. The whole economy is coming down. Things are not going good in business. Foreclosures coming down. And I am now on foot. So now I had to go out there and buy another car. So I went ahead, bought a Nissan, and ultimately I bought the car. So I decided now, when I got the car, I said, all right, I need to do my job because the extraterrestrials they gave me an opportunity to get involved with these investors. What the extraterrestrials did, I made the change, set the precedence, I took the information, they didn't hold my hands, they said, okay, we're going to create an opportunity, take a look at this, see what you can do with it, and it manifested, and I followed through, and I went ahead and worked. So they saved my business kept gradually building back up.
Say, can you finally
Start telling us the truth.
Protect our civil liberties and
all wars tonight?